Imagine a caress that freezes the blood, offering silence instead of the warmth of a human soul. Anna Marie prayed for connection in the human swamps, but the universe answered with a cruel curse. She is a beauty destined to walk alone, for her embrace steals memories and leaves only death. This is not just a tale of heroes, but a tragedy of a girl who can never hold the one she loves. Burdened by 1,000 stolen lives, she wanders the crowd, a ghost trapped in her own skin. Welcome back to the Shadows, story lovers, as we dissect the shattered mind of a mutant icon. Before we unravel this tapestry of sorrow, tell me where you are watching from in the comments. Leave a prayer for the soul above you, building a community of light before we enter the dark. Do not forget to subscribe and ring the bell, ensuring you never miss a chapter of this epic saga. Take a deep breath now, for we are traveling to the humid, pine-scented air of Caldecott County. Here, a young girl stands on the precipice of a disaster that will strip away her innocence. The humidity clings like a second skin, masking the ancient danger lurking within her blood. It is a place where family secrets are buried deep in the mud, waiting for a spark to ignite. Prepare yourselves, for the peaceful silence of the bayou is about to be broken by a scream. Born to idealists searching for the far banks, Anna's life began with a ritual gone horribly wrong. Her mother vanished into the void, leaving a broken father and a daughter raised by a strict aunt. Anna grew wild and untamed, earning the name Rogue as she rebelled against every suffocating rule. She ran to the river for freedom, but found a curse waiting in the shadows of a first romance. A kiss with Cody Robbins should have been sweet, but it drained his life and flooded her mind. Terrified by the power surging through her veins, she fled the coma-stricken boy and the angry mob. Torches flickered with prejudice in the night until a stranger named Nathan Summers stepped in. But salvation truly arrived with a woman possessing blue skin and eyes like cold yellow diamonds. Mystique offered a hand, but behind her smile lay a path that would lead Rogue into darkness. Mystique became the mother figure Rogue craved, though her love was sharpened like a fine weapon. Trained in espionage and combat, the girl became a precise instrument of war for the Brotherhood. Yet the hunger in her skin remained, a constant reminder of the loneliness gnawing at her heart. Destiny foresaw a threat in Carol Danvers, driving Rogue to prove her loyalty through brutal force. She ambushed the Avenger on the Golden Gate Bridge, a clash of titans above the churning waters. Rogue held on too long, absorbing not just power but the permanent psyche of her fallen enemy. Victorious in body but shattered in mind, she now possessed flight and near invulnerability. But inside her head, the furious ghost of Carol Danvers screamed, refusing to ever be silenced. The transfer was absolute, fracturing Rogue's reality and leaving her trapped in a dual nightmare. The stolen power was intoxicating, but the madness of two minds was a burden she could not bear. Mystique used her to hunt the X-Men, but Rogue realized the Brotherhood only fed the chaos inside. Desperate and questioning reality, she turned her back on her only family to seek a cure. She walked to the doorstep of Charles Xavier, a fortress of hope she felt unworthy to enter. The X-Men stood furious, seeing only the villain who had destroyed their ally, Carol Danvers. Yet Xavier looked past the monster and saw a frightened child trembling beneath the tough exterior. He opened his doors despite the team's objections, forging a tentative alliance fraught with fear. Rogue had to prove she was not a monster, fighting alongside those who despised her very presence. Every day became a war, battling external enemies while silencing the screaming echo in her mind. Seeking a cure for her fractured soul, Rogue stepped through the mystical Siege Perilous gateway. Judged by the cosmos, she was cast into the prehistoric jungles of the Savage Land, totally alone. But she was not truly solitary, for the entity of Carol Danvers was physically ripped from her. The separated ghost was soulless and fueled by stolen life, hunting Rogue through the wild vines. It was a nightmare of self-confrontation, fighting the physical manifestation of her deepest guilt. Just as her strength failed, the master of magnetism descended to end the brutal, uneven conflict. Magneto restored her powers to save her life, finally silencing the Danvers persona for good. Amidst dinosaurs and volcanoes, a strange romance bloomed between the mutant and the revolutionary. But peace is a fleeting dream, and she witnessed Magneto execute the priestess Saladane in cold blood. Shattered by his darkness, she realized he was no savior and fled his side to find her own path. Upon rejoining the X-Men, her eyes locked with a Cajun thief whose smile hid 1,000 secrets. Gambit offered an electric romance, a dance of longing and impossibility that thrilled her heart. They moved like magnets, drawn together by fate, yet kept apart by the curse of her lethal touch. But when they finally risked a kiss, the curse struck again, revealing the darkness of his past. She saw his role in the Mutant massacre, a betrayal that broke her heart and sent her running. The revelation shattered their fragile trust, leaving Rogue to question if she could ever be loved. She fled into the night, the taste of his secrets bitter on her lips, drifting once more alone. The shadows of the past seemed to stretch endlessly, consuming any hope of a normal, happy life. No matter where she ran, the ghosts of stolen memories followed, whispering of her tragic nature. She was a wanderer again, carrying the weight of a love that was doomed before it even began.
Drifting as a waitress in the South, Rogue tried to pretend she was normal, but fate had other plans. Operation Zero Tolerance descended on her sanctuary, aiming to wipe her kind from the face of Earth. She would have perished if not for Joseph, a benevolent clone of Magneto with a gentle spirit. Together they battled the Sentinels, a fight that reignited the warrior spirit dormant within her. She realized she could not run from her nature and chose to define her destiny on her own terms. Returning to the fold, she evolved from a scared runaway into a commander who demanded respect. She joined the Avengers Unity Squad, bridging the chasm between humanity and the mutant population. Standing with Thor and Captain America, she proved she was one of Earth's premier guardians. No longer a villain, she led with compassion and grit, though the final test was yet to come. Decades of trauma began to heal as Rogue finally found stability within the chaos of her life. The torturous dance with Gambit culminated in marriage, a union defying the odds of her powers. They found a way to love without touch, mastering the control needed to hold one another close. But following the fall of Krakoa and the rise of Greymalk in prison, a new path had to be forged. Rogue returned to the sticky heat of Louisiana, establishing a new base in the heart of the bayou. She gathered a trusted family of Wolverine, Jubilee, and Nightcrawler to stand by her side. This was a sanctuary for young mutants who had nowhere to turn, just as she once was lost. Looking over the swamp where her nightmare began, she realized she had finally conquered her ghosts. She was no longer defined by who she had hurt, but by the lives she was now determined to save. Rogue's Odyssey teaches us that our greatest burdens can eventually become our strongest shields. She proved that family is defined by those who stand beside you when you feel most untouchable. Even the broken can lead, and even the accursed can find a love that transcends the physical realm. Her story is a testament that no past is too dark to walk out of, provided you have courage. You must forgive yourself to move forward, leaving the shadows behind to embrace the light of day. She rests now in the twilight of the bayou, a queen of her own making, finally at home in her skin. The journey of the girl from Caldecott County is a legend etched in the history of mutant kind. Thank you for watching this epic saga, and may you find the strength to conquer your own demons. Do not forget to like and subscribe, for the next chapter of history awaits in the next video.